What's up guys, this is Scoopman5000 and today we got another action figure review and another banger. We previously looked at the Logan and Xavier 2-pack, and from that same sale this is the Marvel Legends Hellfire Club exclusive from Pulsecon. And so just a really awesome presentation here that we're going to take a deep dive into. Usually the packaging is like the first minute of the video, but that is not going to be the case here because that's honestly one of the most exciting things about this set is its presentation. And in that regard, it really is one of the definitive examples of a Comic-Con exclusive. When you get the box, you're getting it just like this. So you have the Hellfire logo, you have the gates in the front, and then you get this piece on the bottom with the Marvel Legends logo, Hellfire Club. It says the same thing on top. And this box is massive, but on the side you could see that logo. It's the same on both sides. And then on the back, you get the portraits of the action figures. The description says that Sebastian Shaw assembles the Hellfire Club, a vicious syndicate bent on economic power and ruthless political domination. This is going to be taped up when you get it. You're going to go ahead and slide this off. It's going to reveal the Magneto helmet trophy and the Marvel Legends logo. And then when you flip it on to the front here, you get a Velcro right in the middle where that Hellfire logo is. You pop this open and you're greeted with a beautiful painting portrait of the inner circle of the Hellfire Club. And this really is a piece of art. I want to display this somewhere, but I just don't know where. And then I'm going to have to move the camera because it's really so massive here. Before we get into the figures, on each flap side, you're getting some portraits. So over here, you get Donald Pierce and you get Emma Frost. For Donald Pierce, it says, while little is known about his past, Pierce's wealth and family name brought him into the Hellfire Club, where he has become a nefarious force. And he is the White Bishop of the team. Obviously, each member takes the name of a chess piece. And then Emma Frost is the White Queen, obviously, with devastating telepathic powers. Emma Frost is capable of anything on behalf of the Hellfire Club's inner circle. And then panning over to the other side, where we're greeted with Sebastian Shaw and Jean Grey. So Sebastian Shaw, wealthy industrialist, uses his superhuman abilities to absorb and convert energy in pursuit of global domination. And then finally for Jean Grey, a phenom whose powers of both telepathy and telekinesis are virtually unmatched. Jean Grey is enlisted into the Hellfire Club's inner circle with the power of psionic device. And really awesome, you get like what looks like lights here. Really awesome display. There's just nothing else to say, no better way to describe it. Just truly phenomenal stuff here. Going back to the middle, let me adjust my lights here. We're going to peel away this portrait of the Hellfire Club, and we get the figures. But before we get that, inside the flap behind the painting, and we even get like the details of, you know, the hanging of the painting, we get a dubious invitation. And this is a real kind of envelope style thing here. You can go ahead, take that out, and we're going to open this up for the first time. It's a real envelope. Take this out, you're greeted with a little note. And I don't think I'm going to read this whole thing, but it is, dear friend, you're cordially invited to join the ranks of a society with the most exclusive membership. The inner circle awaits your response for now. And then you're greeted with signatures of all the characters, Shaw, Grey, Frost, and Pierce. The back of it is unfortunately blank, but the front of it, really nice weathering, stuff like that. This is going to go right back in the envelope and stay preserved in the packaging. But just a really awesome touch, a Comic-Con exclusive touch at that. I'm going to go ahead and sit this back in the packaging. And then we're left with the inner tray of the inner circle. And you could see all four figures and all the accessories laid out right in front of you, looking regal as hell. But even when you remove that, and you do have to remove some tape, but the backdrop here is absolutely stunning right here. And this is going to have to be on the display somehow. I'm going to have a whole shelf for the Hellfire Club of all things. But a beautiful Hellfire Club mansion foray background here. So we got the nice big windows, the chair, all the fixins, the fireplace in the middle, the mantle with all the portraits. And I've actually seen videos where people go in here and they actually look at all the Easter eggs of all the different characters they show here. I'm not going to do that because I definitely do not have the knowledge, but just unreal presentation here. But we're going to go ahead, we're going to get these figures out of the box. I'm going to go and try to get this portrait back in here smoothly as possible. And while I usually say there's not much to the packaging, that's definitely not the case here. But let's get to it. Let's close the doors on this packaging and let's look at the Hellfire Club. And starting out the Hellfire Club, we have the Black Queen, Jean Grey, and there's a lot to go over here, so I'm not going to waste any time. For accessories, alternate hands, we start out with some telepathic hands that come on the figure. We're also getting a pair of fist hands, and then a set of gripping hands. With those gripping hands, she can hold her one and only accessory, which is the whip. And if you don't want Jean Grey as your Black Queen, you can actually swap out the heads with the alternate Celine head. You can get the original Black Queen, and that head sculpt looks good. I will say though, very difficult to swap the heads. I want to have Jean Grey displayed just because that's how the packaging represents it. There's some incentive here to even get 2 of these, but it's just going to be tough to track down another Jean Grey unless you get him on eBay or something like that. And I had that cape removed for the accessories portion because it's really hard to move the figure around with this cape. You can see it's pre-posed in this way where it's kind of floating up, and I really don't like capes like this, and especially this being a Comic-Con exclusive set, would have been really nice to get a cloth goods cape. But what we get is this big poofy mess of a cape. Honestly, when I display the figures, I might have the cape off for Jean Grey. I think with Emma Frost, it's a bit more essential to her look, but maybe I'll take it off for Jean Grey, but I'm still deciding right now. Getting a closer look, you can see that Jean Grey head sculpt, and I'll bring in the Celine head sculpt. You can get a better look at that on camera. Looks good. The paint is good on both of them. Honestly, Celine has the best expression out of this whole pack. I'll move ahead here and bring in Emma Frost. Both of them have a bit of a dead-eyed expression here. On one hand, it's probably supposed to be looking all sultry and things like that, but it really doesn't come across here in figure form, so they're a bit dead-eyed looking, but the paint is still done very clean. It's a beautiful head sculpt nonetheless, like Jean Grey should be. There is a bit of a paint splot on my nose here, which is kind of unfortunate, but that's not going to be for everybody. The hair here is that maroon redhead color, and then it's a darker wash over it, so it looks really good. I like the hairstyle a lot with the hair up on Jean Grey. It complements the makeup, and then also on her, I guess, lapel or whatever you'd call that of the cape here, you do get a little rose. And for the rest of the figure, the outfit here is totally black. So we went over the big cape. She's actually got a little choker collar separate piece here as well, I forgot to mention. But then the rest of this is some total dominatrix lingerie look, and honestly pretty shocking for a Marvel Legends figure. For example, when you go to the torso and the corset here, you actually do get somewhat of a developed chest region, I should say. Usually when you get these Marvel Legends and a lot of other action figures, for obvious reasons, there's like a uniboob always, but here it's there, it's all there, and you get the nice corset covering that. Even a little bit of midriff down on the bottom of the corset. You could see more on the back there, and that's where all the articulation really happens, is in the corset there. But on the back you could see the exposed shoulders and all that, and then the lower torso. The look wouldn't be complete without the look wouldn't be complete here without the leather gloves going all the way up the arms. And then you get some more of that lingerie look here with the waist here, and then on the legs here you got the thigh-high boots, again some leather look to them. There's a bit of a different look from the boots and the gloves compared to the cape maybe, and there's some different sheens of plastic here. The boots are definitely the shiniest, and I've seen people go ahead and swap like Baroness from G.I. Joe. A lot of different heads you could swap onto this body. This is a really great, I don't want to call it generic, but a great sultry lingerie dominatrix look for really any action figure, and honestly just crazy to have this as a Marvel Legends. The look is even complete with some high heels, and unfortunately that means it's pretty difficult to get her to stand. I think if anything the cape actually does help it, because you can kind of offset some weight onto that cape, but there really just is not a lot of room for her to stand here. I might even invest in some clear stands because there is peg holes there, but as it stands, just kind of difficult to do. For her articulation, you get the hinge at the top of the neck. The head's looking back that much and forward that much. You're basically not going to get this articulation if you use the Celine head because of the long hair. The torso, there's like joints going on underneath the corset here, so she's going to bend forward that much and back that much. I didn't even notice there's a little belly sculpted there even if you move the corset up. The shoulders are on hinge and swivel, no upper bicep cut, but the shoulder kind of swivel makes up for that. Single jointed elbow, kind of difficult to work with, almost gaps up a bit here, and then hinge and swivel at the wrist. Figure's getting a pretty decent split. You're getting the double jointed knee, the upper thigh cut, no boot cut, and then you're getting hinge and ankle rocker at the high heel. And that's going to cover Jean Grey, and I'm going to be doing some limited comparisons here, just because there is a lot of figures to go over. But for now, here she is, with the only other Jean Grey that I own, which is the Love Triangle 3-pack. I picked that up recently, and also from that set is Wolverine. And you can see she's just a bit taller than the Jean Grey, but she is wearing like 6-inch tall high heels, so I'm going to give that a pass. I think it's good scale here. And we're not even going to do a transition cut here. We're just going to take Jean Grey out and put Emma Frost in, because we'll bring her back. It's the exact same body, so there's not much else to go over here in terms of unique sculpt. What we do get is a head sculpt that may or may not be reused from the Walgreens Emma Frost. I honestly have no clue. Again, I have the same issue with Jean Grey where it's just a bit dead-eyed. I think maybe if they made the eyes a little squinty, or maybe just look a bit more sultry or something like that, but something's not right here. She just looks a little bit dead in the eyes. Not much going on upstairs, I guess. And the blue makeup and the red lipstick really doesn't help that look, I guess. So out of the 3 head sculpts in this set of the women, this one's definitely my least favorite. But the rest of it is good. It's the same as that Jean Grey figure, and this is the figure that stands on its own out of this set, because we have the Walgreens Emma Frost, but we don't have the White Queen, which is definitely the more iconic look of the character. It's how she looked in the movies and in all her classic comic book appearances. But other than that, the only unique part aside from the head sculpt is her cape here. And this one's even more limiting than the Jean Grey one, but I think it's more essential to her character. She's always kind of with this big fur coat up top. You get a little jewel in the middle of that. And I also prefer this one because it has a more down flowing shape rather than the, I guess, more dynamic look of the Jean Grey. But because of that Jean Grey cape, you kind of have to pose it in order for that to look natural. This one you can have it vanilla pose and it doesn't look bad with the cape mostly draping straight down. But it's that same Jean Grey figure, just done with white instead of black for the clothes. And obviously the skin tone is a little bit different. It's a bit more pink here than Jean Grey's skin. That's a bit more orange, I guess you could say. Comparing this one to the Walgreens Emma Frost, I don't own that figure, but online I've seen that the skin tones actually don't match up. So you can't really do head swaps with them because this is a very pale, or at least a pinker skin tone than that figure. But because it is the same body, it has the same issues and the same positives of the last one. So really good sculpt. Again, probably one of the more risque Marvel Legends figures, and just a really good look, just an awesome figure for collectors to have. And again, like I said, this can go right on your X-Men display, even regardless of the Hellfire Club. So if you really just want the Hellfire Club for this figure, you maybe could buy this and sell the rest of them. And I'm sure that's what a lot of collectors are doing. But I won't spend too much time on the articulation because it is the same as Jean Grey, but the head is on that same swivel and hinge. You get the torso movement. The shoulder has the hinge and swivel. You get the single jointed elbow, the hinge and swivel at the hands. You get the splits, upper thigh cut, double knee, and then you get the hinge and swivel at the boot. And then for some comparisons with her, we'll bring back that Wolverine from the Love Triangle 3-pack, and then we'll bring in Mystique from the X-Men movie series, and you can see how much smaller that movie series is in scale with these comic book figures. And then that leaves us with the men of the Hellfire Club. We'll start out here with the leader of the organization being Sebastian Shaw. And for his accessories, he gets a decent amount. On the base figure, you're getting some different kinds of styles of gripping hands. You're also getting some alternate fisted hands. But with those gripping hands, he can hold 2 different things. He first comes with a Magneto helmet, and he famously used this in X-Men First Class, and in the end of that movie where he was killed, Magneto took that helmet and claimed it as his own. Obviously his story's a bit different in the comics, but still the Magneto helmet is going to go with him. It's going to look nice. Unfortunately, you can't put it on the figure, but I guess him holding it is really going to be where it's at. Would have been cool actually if they came with a little round table like they have on the packaging, and you could display these accessories on those. Not like we didn't get enough things in this package, but furniture would have been something else. And I might have to go track down some like mansion furniture for these figures, maybe some extreme sets or something like that, because that's how good this set is. But that's going off on a tangent. His final accessory is this Hellfire book. It's the same book, I think, that comes with Retro Beast. I don't have them. I have Dark Beast and I have the Blue Beast, but I don't have the Gray Beast that comes with the book. But I'd have to think it's the same one. On the inside, there's like some scientific wording. And then on the front, you get the Hellfire Club's insignia, and it's done in like a dark red. But overall, that's going to cover the accessories, and we can get a closer look at Sebastian Shaw himself. A really great head sculpt here. Would have been nice to get some alternate facial expressions maybe, because he's a bit happy in this one compared to everybody else in the set. But you could see really nice sculpt work here, the mutton chops leading into the hair, the widow's peak, and then the ponytail in the back tied up. And then the body here really is amazing. You just don't have too many figures with this kind of classical looking wardrobe here. If you actually go ahead and pop the head, you can remove this scarf piece, which reveals this is actually underneath all of this a Marvel Legends suited body, at least for the actual middle torso piece. And there's just a big rubber overlay here for his coat, and then really cleverly hidden with this scarf piece. It looks like a whole brand new body, but really it's all brand new rubber goods with a reused body underneath it. And I don't know much about action figure production, but that seems like maybe it's cheaper than the actual plastic pieces. The arms here actually come right out of the Logan 2-pack that we just took a look at, at least the upper arms. Obviously the lower arms kind of ruffle out here. It makes the hands actually a bit more difficult to swap because you don't have as much leverage, but you can see the white ruffles painted outside of his cuffs there. The shirt here is a really awesome pattern. It's a red shirt and then kind of a gray wash going over it. So really regal, fancy pattern here. You get the gold buttons going down on the coat, the popped collar, everything like that. So just a really eye-catching figure, because action figures definitely never look like this with this kind of wardrobe, like I said. On the back, you can see more of that jacket sculpt and where the coattails meet. And then for the legs, there might be some clever reuse here for the upper legs here, because it looks like some modern belt loops up there and things like that. But then obviously these lower legs have to be new, and that leads into the high socks, and then some pilgrim looking ass shoes here. I don't know what else to call it really. There's definitely a name, but it's just some shiny black shoes with some gold buckles on them. And overall, some really amazing stuff. He's definitely probably my favorite figure of the set. I really do like this character. He's just a really cool character. I loved him in X-Men First Class, and even in the comics, he's a very cool character, and someone that really hasn't been tackled much, if at all, in Marvel Legends. Going over his articulation, the head's on a hinge and a ball joint. You're not getting too much motion because of all that's going on here in the neck and the head region. There is ab crunch here underneath because it is the suited body. He's going to go back that much and forward that much, so the articulation is still kind of usable, but not great. The shoulder's going to hinge and swivel. You got the upper bicep cut, the double jointed elbow. You get the hinge and swivel at the hand. You get the waist swivel. You get the splits, upper thigh cut, double jointed knee, not too badly blocked by that pants sculpt. And then you get the boot cut right at his high socks, and then a hinge and an ankle rocker at his shoes. And that does it for Sebastian Shaw. So now we'll go ahead and do some comparisons. And for that, we'll go ahead and bring back that Love Triangle 3-pack. If you couldn't tell, I'm excited to finally have this set and have some proper comic book X-Men. And overall, I really like that he's taller than all these guys. Obviously, everyone's going to be taller than Wolverine, but even Cyclops, who's on a Bucky Cat body, he's just a little bit bigger. Honestly, I wish he was a little bit bigger than that, because in the comics, he really is a force to be reckoned with. Just a big, scary, beefy dude. But at least he's got the Hugh Jackman arms and things like that, and he is taller than Cyclops. So overall, not much complaints there. And then here he is with the ladies of the Hellfire Club. But now we'll go ahead and complete this team, and let's look at Donald Pierce. And here is Donald Pierce out of the packaging, a character also that I was introduced to with the X-Men movies, but this time being Logan, where he was almost a completely different character, but still cool to have this figure, and topical that he comes alongside the Logan 2-pack. For his accessories, he's coming with 2 human hands that are both gripping for different weapons, similar to Shaw, but then he's also getting 2 robotic hands, because obviously that's his big thing, is that he's kind of cybernetic. And you even saw that in the Logan movie with the one hand that was robotic. For that reason, that's how I'm going to display it. And with that trigger finger hand, he has 2 weapons he can hold, those being the rifle, which he can 2-hand, and then also the pistol. And those guns actually come from Domino in the Sasquatch wave a couple years back. And then he's also coming with the neck piece from that Love Triangle 3-pack of Wolverine's cowl kind of draped down. The idea here, I guess, is that this is a trophy of Donald Pierce's when he captured Wolverine or something like that. So it's something that he can just hold, where he's just kind of clutching Wolverine's helmet. But it is the exact same piece that we got in that Love Triangle 3-pack. And then to go over Donald Pierce, we'll look at the head sculpt, because that's the only unique piece on him, similar to the White Queen and the Black Queen. And I'm almost getting a Willem Dafoe vibe here, honestly, when I look at this head sculpt. Obviously, it's nothing like the movie, but it does a good job of capturing the comic book likeness. The hair is really good, really well sculpted here. It's got some wash in it to look natural, and I really think this is the better facial expression out of really all the figures here. It's got the confidence here, but not really too happy looking like Sebastian Shaw. But other than that, it's all the same figure. So the same jacket, same pants, same boots, everything like that, just done in a different color scheme. This one's a bit more muted. He's got a brown coat, the same gold buttons. The shirt is green, but with the exact same pattern and paint color. He's even got the exact same scarf piece. Maybe that could have been different to just differentiate him up a bit. But the pants are done in more of a khaki or an olive color, I guess. And overall, I think he's got the better fit. His colors go together a bit better. But there really isn't much else to say. But I do like this figure just as much as Sebastian Shaw. And overall, I really like this body. I don't know where else it could get reused, but I almost want it to get reused just because it's so cool. Just to have a figure with this kind of style on, with this kind of drip. To go over his articulation, it's the same as Sebastian Shaw. So the head is on a hinge and swivel, a ball joint. You got the same ab crunch that's a little bit blocked by the jacket. The shoulder hinge and swivel, the upper bicep cut, double jointed elbow, the hinge and swivel at the wrist, the swivel at the waist, the split, upper thigh cut, double jointed knee, boot cut, and then the hinge and the ankle rocker. And that's your look at Donald Pierce. And it's a bit brief, but we're 4 figures in, and we have a lot of reuse in this set. So, while there's not much to say, doesn't mean I don't love the figure. But with that out of the way, let's go ahead and do the final comparisons with this guy. And here he is with that love triangle Wolverine and Cyclops. The same things I was saying about Shaw can apply to Pierce here. And then finally, here's the entirety of the Hellfire Club. And overall, that is going to do it for your look at this box set. And what a box set it is. Really, like I said in the beginning, when we were looking at the packaging, just a really shining showcase example, a definitive Comic-Con exclusive set. Honestly, had this set just come as it is, but just in a normal Marvel Legends box, I would not be nearly as impressed. But you saw how much time we spent on packaging. That really does make this set. But even with that, the figures we get here comes with tons of accessories, some all-new sculpts on these guys, and overall just one of the most unique Marvel Legends sets you can get right now. And if you're an X-Men collector, I think this is really the showcase, the grail piece that you need to get of the Hellfire Club. One of the X-Men's most prominent villains, really, and just a great way to get them all knocked out at once. No waves, no hunting down. You do the Hasbro Pulse order, and you have a beautiful Hellfire Club for your collection. I'm going to have some fun doing some figure photography. I'm going to leave some at the end of this video, and you can see more over at Instagram, scoopman_5000. If you like this review and others like it, you know where to stay right here on this channel. And until next time, I'll see you guys in the next action figure review.